Hey, hey, hey! It's Berkey and
Josiah.
and we also have special guest Grant Lyon.
Hello,
We have,
everybody. Thanks for having me.
we
Hello,
have
you
to
two, for
say
having me. Yeah.
we have to say again.
Oh, I was just saying thanks for having me. I said thanks to everybody for having me, but also particularly you two, since it is your show.
Well, we are live with our sixth question and answer session. I'm so sorry, everyone. I was gone on the last one, but Josiah did a brilliant job with BJ from Board Game Gumbo. That's at the bottom of the campaign page. Feel free to check that out. We talked about, answered a lot of questions. And today we also want to answer a lot of your questions. Hey, BJ's in the house. All you can do is say his name, and there it's like the genie in the bottle.
He's like Bloody Mary. You just say it 3 times and he shows up.
BJ Rosazos, BJ Rosazos, BJ Rosazos.
Yeah.
I wish I was in Kansas.
Yeah.
So today we're going to go through a few of our new milestones. There's a big announcement today. I kind of teased it yesterday, but we're really excited about this thing. And when we get to that, I think people are going to go, oh my goodness, Berkey, you've totally lost your mind. And I think maybe I have, but that's just what everybody else already knows. I just haven't figured it out yet. So that being said, we're almost at the $150,000 milestone.
Nice. Congrats. That's a big one.
Thank you. It's pretty cool. And we have 531 backers. That's fantastic. I see that there's over 2,040 people actually watching it. So there's a lot of people that are hanging out and wondering what's next and looking to see what's going to go on. So we have these amazing milestone goals where at the milestone, we're going to offer a special customer loyalty pledge. And this is our stretch goal that gives you something special that wouldn't normally be there. It gives you extra value, in some cases, free stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit, so I don't get ahead of myself. But then we're also unlocking multiple goals at those milestones. So it's like we're going to have goals in between the milestones just to keep it fun and have some enthusiasm. And some really cool stretch goals, but the milestones were going big.
That's great. I'm curious. I want to know what this stuff is now too.
See, BJ says, I can't find the pledge level where Grant personally delivers the table and gives a 10-minute set at my house.
Oh, we've got that in there.
Yeah.
It's at the $1 million stretch goal.
Yeah.
And we'll make it happen.
I'll do that. I would totally do that for you guys. You guys hit $1 million, I'll do that.
There we go, baby.
Yeah.
We'll just create $1 million pledge, and then that's all. It'll just take one person.
One person.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, right?
And Grant's at your house, man.
Yeah.
Well, we've got. It usually takes a little bit of time for people to jump in to the goal. One thing that was really cool is that at $140,000, we unlocked a couple things. And one of the things we unlocked was the XL mats in the water, or no, excuse me, in the desert dunes, the battleground, and the Mars. So that was a really cool thing that we unlocked. But then we also unlocked, if you go up a little bit, at $140,000, the early bird fulfillment of all of the walnut packages. So, and that's in the United States and Canada. So not only are we delivering the Scotland Yard packages early in January and the Baker Street packages in January, we're also going to unload all of those walnut pledges. And we have walnut in the Watson Scotland Yard package pledge. We have the Baker Street Homes pledge in walnut, and the Reichenbach Falls, the big 4-foot by 6-foot in the walnut. There's not very many of them left. So if you're teetering like, hey, do I want the premium walnut? I would jump in and get it right now. You're seeing all of these package deals unlocked in those packages. We unlocked the accessories already, the extra mat that you get for $50. And we're almost at 150 where we're unlocking another big thing. So that being said, super excited about all of that. I've been thinking about a couple things with our backers. And for those of you that are listening, we're really, really excited when we get feedback from our customers. We love hearing from our backers, their experiences with Game Toppers. That's always a big sense of encouragement for us. So keep that coming. And also, if you have any ideas, we're listening intently. One of the things that our backers have said, they really are excited about getting that terrain white, and we're going to call it the new snow mat, because we've actually modified it slightly to enhance it to have more of a snow icy look rather than that gray white. So pretty excited about that. And we also have had some people asking about some other items like shelving units. And one of the things that people have been asking about is actually like a pad, like a comfort pad that would go over the rail, especially in the winter time. If you have like the standard rail, it's aluminum, so it's metal. Generally, people have a shirt on, and this hasn't really been a complaint. We really don't hear this that often. But I mean, a reality is if you have a cold basement and you've got a metal piece and your arms on it, it's going to be cooler than a piece of wood. So some people have expressed that, hey, they'd like to see something. Well, I started prototyping some of the neoprene strips, and it actually works really well with the 3mm stuff. It hardly moves at all. And I've actually talked to our manufacturer about the possibility of us doing these and what that associated cost was. But that happened because you asked for it. And I can't always do it. Sometimes it's not manufacturable, or it's not cost effective or time effective, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is we love to hear your feedback, and I value it. And if I can help, I'm absolutely all committed to doing that. So with that being said, got Grant Lyon here. Now I got to say it this way: award-winning Grant.
I know.
Now, what did you win? You won like the Tubley Award, the Tubber
called the Taggy Awards.
The Taggy Award. Oh yeah.
It's a very big deal in the toy and mass market world. Our hobby market doesn't hear about it as much, but that was like a thing where I was like, I don't know what this is. And then other people were like, oh, this is like a big deal. And I was like, it is? Okay. Like, I didn't really know anything about it. Like 2 months ago, I mean, when they messaged me and said, hey, you're nominated for this award, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I just want to make sure you don't have me confused for somebody else.
Well, I saw you on stage with Scott Brady because he won an award too, right?
Yeah, he won Game Inventor of the Year. So
wow.
For Boot. Yeah.
For Boot.
Yeah.
So what was your category?
It was a super weird category. It was called Most Innovative Supplier. And the reason, like, it was almost like a miscellaneous category. It was like, do you supply things to the board game or the toy industry? And so in the category, there was like a summer camp that like is a summer camp for like board game stuff. And then there was like a manufacturer was in there. And then I was in there mostly because of the writing that I do, like the creative writing that I do for games.
Okay.
I get hired by different publishers and things like that to write jokes and things like that for their games. And so that was like the main reason that I was nominated. But part of the reason, like, I just thought I had no chance of winning, because when they're showing all the nominees, every other nominee is like this team of people, and then it's just me by myself. Like, and you know, beforehand people were like, what are you nominated for? And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm nominated for this. And people would be like, "What's your company?" And I'd be like, "Exactly. You would think it's a company. You would think I'm gonna have a company, but nope." Yeah.
That's awesome.
Me, myself, and I.
Yep. So
Well, I saw you were sitting way at the back, so it took you a little while to take the stage. And
it took me like longer than anybody else. I was literally sitting at one of the back tables because I had no idea. And then, my friend Danielle was at the table and she was filming me just in case. And when they announced my name, I think the first thing I said, I looked over and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I wasn't expecting it at all. I prepared not a single word of my speech or anything like that. I was just like, "There's no way."
I see Trent Turner is here, and he says that BGG will be great. Well, Trent Turner is a longtime backer of Game Toppers, but Trent and I have developed a friendship over the last probably 5 or 6 years. He was one of our initial adopters, I believe. And Trent helps us at BGG Con in the booth every year, and he's become one of my key guys that I rely on. And he's just an amazing fellow. Thanks for joining the live feed, Trent.
Yeah, I'll be at BGG Con too. So, if you guys are if you're looking for a game outside of hall hours, I'll play a game with you.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great. I'm gonna be working the booth a fair amount of the time. I don't have quite as much helpers this year at BGG, but especially I'm gonna have some. Friday night, I'm doing the poker tournament. Do you get involved in that?
I don't think so, but that sounds cool.
It's super fun. Last year was my first time doing it. We're giving away one of our Texas Hold'em mats kind of as a mini sponsor thing, but I really enjoyed it. And I went a ways last year too. I got one of the $500 chips, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
I played a lot of Hold'em in college, and I'm not very good. So
you should do it.
Yeah, I'm like, I was always, when we would play, like I would play in tournaments, like just with friends, not anything official. And I was always like good enough to get second or third occasionally, but I don't think I ever won a single night.
Yeah. Well, they really do a good job. And there's usually, 100, 150 people in there. So they narrow the tables down pretty quickly. And it was a lot of fun.
500 chip. How far into that? What were you? Did that put you in like the top 20 or?
Yeah, I think I actually did make it into the top 20.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. I forget the gal's name, but she came over with this great big bucket that's over to the table and dropped her chips, and it was like, okay, we're all done for. She's gonna buy every pot. I just figured everybody out at the table finally, and then all these big wheelers come walking in.
Yeah.
We've got another person just jumped in.
Yeah, Q says, Grant, I'm not good at gambling. Berkey, come play. I will gladly take your money.
Yep. He's a shark over here. Yeah.
If I remember right, last year I got there. I was out at a dinner, and then I came in and I caught like the last 15 minutes of your board game comedy routine.
Cool.
And the event was right after that in the next hall over, if I remember right. But this year, for those of you that don't know, okay, Grant Lyon has a media channel called Grant's Gamers Rex, okay, and he does all kinds of reviews on what's new coming to retail, and he does all these new reviews of what's the best expansion and this and that, and he's doing tons of content. You see all kinds of TikTok stuff and whatnot, and I mean, if you guys want to have a laugh, just go start lurking around his channel and go back watch some stuff, because I remember when I saw that origin video of you falling down the steps. I mean, it's blow snot funny. I mean, just laugh, blow milk out of your mouth, whatever you want to say out of your nose. It was so funny.
I don't take it seriously. That's the thing. For me, I love games, and I even like the big serious games, but at the end of the day, to me, they are games. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be entertaining to me.
Yeah, and that's what I think you bring to it. Even your presentation of what's new at retail, it's always very entertaining, and your thoughts about different things, and even older games that maybe other people wouldn't cover. I mean, you bring a flair to it that makes it really exciting. But I mean, you've been a professional comedian now for what did you say? It was like 28 years or something?
No, not that long. I'm not that
18
old.
years?
Yeah, like 18 years.
18 years. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's approaching. It'll be 19 in January. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like crazy. So you just did a dry bar comedy tour, didn't you, or something?
I did a special. If you know what Dry Bar is, it's one of the biggest brands in comedy, and they specialize in clean comedy. But their specials get millions of views and stuff. And I just filmed one of those in the end of September, so it should be coming. It'll be coming out next year at some point. I'm not in charge of when it comes out, so when I know, I'll let everybody else know.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Yeah, I enjoy that stuff, actually.
Yeah, BJ says, if you go to BGG Con, don't miss Grant's board game comedy set there. It's a can't miss.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be doing it twice, Thursday night and Friday night.
Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
Cool.
So if you have like a scheduled game or a scheduled thing, you got 2 opportunities to see it.
What time is it on those evenings? Do you remember?
This is the thing. They wanted to make it confusing for everybody. So it's 8 p.m. one night and 7 p.m. the other night. And cool. I think it's 8 on Thursday and 7 on Friday, but I can't ever remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah. It's 8 one night and 7 one night.
Cool. Well, I'd encourage you. I've listened to his full set a couple different times, actually, and it's very funny and it's very board game centric. And that when was the first time we actually met?
I think it was Tantrum Con.
Like that's right. It was at Tantrum Con, and it was right after that we had talked, and I talked to you about the things you were doing in the hobby, because I was intrigued with your comedy, of course, because I'd seen some of it and it was funny. But then what you were actually doing in the board game space made sense to me too. And I asked you if you were interested in working with us, doing some videos for us and some things of that nature. Yeah. And you ended up getting, I believe, you live in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And so you got the Adler Topper. And then tell us about your experience with Game Toppers and the product.
Well, I mean, I've said this in videos, and I'll keep saying it because it's the thing I like the most about Game Toppers is just how like adaptable and flexible it is, because I'm not somebody that has a lot, I'm not a rich person to buy a big house in Los Angeles. And so I've got roommates and I've got not a ton of space. And I think, there are a lot of board game tables on the market, but most of them are super heavy and super sort of set, right? It's like you get it and it's not moving. Whereas like a Game Topper is much more flexible for the space. If you live in a space where you need to change things around and you need to have it be different functions, I don't think there's anything out there better than Game Toppers for being flexible for multi-function stuff. Because one, I can lift the table by itself, which is a real like great thing for me because most of them you can't. Two, I've got my Game Topper. I have a sort of a garage studio here. About a year and a half ago, I live in like a duplex and I rent and I can't take over the living room or the dining room. I've taken it over as much as my roommates will let me already. And so there's like kind of a beat up old unit in the garage. And I asked the landlords if I could just rent it out, like clean it up and rent it out. And it's not rentable because there's no water and no, a bunch of stuff like that. But for like a filming studio, it's great for me. So I have the game topper out there most of the time. But sometimes when I'll have a game night, I want to do it inside because there are bathrooms and refrigerators with drinks and stuff like that, so that I can easily bring the game topper inside to my living room or my dining room for a game night, set it on top of the table that we have there, then move it back out to the garage studio very easily for filming and stuff.
And I've seen you do that. Like on your video, you made a video of a couple different things for us, but you have the leg kit, so it gave you that portability of putting it on a table. And I think initially that's what you did, and then you actually got the leg kit, so now you can do both of them.
So when I have it in my studio, it's the leg kit, it's a table unto itself, and then when I bring it in to the dining room, I take the legs off and put it on the dining room table that we have.
So I know you have quite a few mats. What are your thoughts about our mats, and what's your favorite?
Oh man, well the new ones are super gorgeous. So I have different ones for different things. I mean, that's the thing I like about it, right? Is that if it's like a filming thing, if I'm using one for filming, I'm often just doing the blue or the red just to have sort of a more neutral background. But then if I'm doing a game night, like I recently used your horror one because I did a Halloween game night.
Cool.
So yeah, playing stuff like we played Obscurio and Paranormal Detectives and just some sort of more thematic games. So it was fun to put down the mat for that.
I bet people really love that, huh?
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite games, it'll for sure make my top 10 of the year this year, is a game called Wild Tiled West from Direwolf.
Oh yeah.
That is a top 10 game of the year guaranteed for me this year, and may make my top 5. We'll have to see where the dust settles at the end of the year. But so I got the Wild West mat, and so I want to play Wild Tiled West on that one. So I like that there's different things for different occasions.
I saw that demoed at Gen Con, and yeah, it looked great.
Yeah,
I was really surprised because our old West Train Age of Steam mat from Xavier Gonzalez is very popular with a lot of people, and BJ has one of them actually from Board Game Gumbo, and he's just head over heels over it. And we love Coloma, and Coloma looks so awesome on that, and Carson City and some other Western legends and those type of games. But Johnny Pack, the designer of Coloma, he posted a picture of his wall, and I couldn't believe it. He had about 80 games, literally a huge stack of all Western themed games, older stuff from all over. So he's into the Old West, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the sort of rootin' tootin' feel of it is one of my favorite themes in a game. I don't know if that's, I grew up in California, and when we're kids in California, we go gold panning and we go to gold country field trips and things like that. So it's maybe has a nostalgia feel for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a gorgeous mat. When we opened that one up, I was having a real hard time. I've asked our backers. I'm still curious, everybody, if you'd let us know what your favorite mats are from all that we've. Honestly, we had 20 mats already. And I felt like we had some amazing mats before. I mean, the Viking mat, the pirate mat, the dungeon, the adventure mat, our space mat. I mean, I could go on the Roman theme mat. The Ryan Lockett. I mean, they're amazing mats. But then we went and just took it another notch and added 10 more. And people tell me, I don't know if it's just because it's the newness, but they go, Berkey, I think these are the best mats you've ever done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh, I think some of my other ones are actually good too, but these are cool.
I mean, I got the nature mat one too, and man, the colors in that one are pretty striking.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, Josiah, he was talking with BJ about this on the show, but when he saw it, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of want to put it up on the wall.
Yeah, because it's so vibrant and pretty.
And there's so many awesome nature games out there right now where the theme, it just oozes environment and makes that immersion of gaming. And that was really the whole idea behind our thematic mats. Of course, we want Josiah's a big miniatures gamer, so he's digging all of these terrain mats, of course. And I think miniature gamers are going to love that. But then those of us that really enjoy theme, that immersion, that's where my art direction is typically gone. So we keep the art assets generally around the edge of the mat, so the center isn't too intrusive to the board game. And the ones that do have more going on, we try to keep that color palette fairly neutral so that everything blends well also. And, that's a matter of taste. Art is subjective. But we have about a 60-40 split where 60% of the people totally are into all of the thematic mats, and then other folks that like things that are a little more simplistic. So, our terrain green and the wood grain and our cobalt blue and crimson red, steel gray are really nice options for them.
Yeah. What's your, just out of curiosity, what's the biggest seller size of table? Like because you have very coffee table ones too. I've seen, I was at the Gamer Ranch and they have your largest one there, which is crazy big.
I think they've got, if I remember right, I think they have 4 of our Sherlock Holmes, which are the 3 foot by 6
standard ones, but then they have one of those really
the big Mycroft. And I think they have an extension leaf with it. So it's 4 foot by 8 foot.
Yeah, I felt like it was almost even bigger than that, but yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, that's a big dog table, because that's the miniature players love that. And you can keep adding extensions. We have one person in Montana that actually has made an 8 foot by 12 foot.
Jeez.
And we don't have a mat that's 12 feet. So we had to put 2 6-foot mats together to make even the 12 foot. But he had this big long corridor room, and it was pretty epic.
Nice.
Trent says the adventure mat is his standard. Fantasy mat is on his table now.
Fantasies often.
And then Kevin has a question for Grant. Do you play Scythe? And what is your favorite mat for Scythe?
I don't play Scythe, but I am into the new sequel, Expeditions.
Oh yeah,
I am. I would call myself like a medium weight gamer. I like things that are, under 2 hours and that are, have snappier turns, are easier to teach. And so Scythe was maybe just a little bit out of my comfort zone, but Expeditions makes it a little bit more approachable, a little bit more, it's a quicker game. It's an easier game to teach and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of Expeditions this year for sure. So my favorite mat for that one, I don't know, what have I used for that one? I think I've used just the wood grain one for that one at this point. Yeah.
And we do have a Scythe inspired resource mat. I think I've heard people talking about this, and some people feel that that's a little busy. And it's a really funny story about that whole deal, though, because it was one night I woke up. I paint wildlife, and so a lot of times I'll wake up with ideas, and I was kind of dreaming about it, and I woke up and I sketched it. But then I was a little nervous to approach Jamie Stegmeyer, who is my Kickstarter idol. I mean, I read every post he did. I listened to his audiobook twice, and it's a long book. About things that he learned in Kickstarter. And I loved the way he treated people. And so when I really gleaned a lot of information and had a lot of respect for him, but I was nervous to talk to him. And then finally one morning I just went, heck, I'm just going to give him a call, see if I can work out a deal. And called him up and I said, I was wondering if I know you don't know me. He goes, no, I know who you are. And I said, oh, wow. I said, I'd love to work out some kind of a licensing agreement where maybe I could make a mat for Scythe. I've got an idea. want to see if it's okay with you and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, no, Berkey, you just go ahead and do it. He said, we'll sign a non-disclosure so that you say it's not an official Stonemaier Games project. So that, you know, he doesn't have any liability with it, but he's all about letting fans do stuff. Cool. So he gave me full permission. We signed the legal stuff and all that, but he has a table from a competitor company of ours, but I knew what he had, no problem with that. But I thought, so I actually went, because I knew the size of the table he has, I had 2 custom made mats for him.
Oh, wow.
Would fit his table. And then as you know, I have a spice company called Burt's Happy Mouth Signature Spice. So I sent him the mats. I sent him a couple of my packages of spice, you know, and he calls me back and he goes, Berkey, you nailed it. He said, nice. I couldn't have made this better. You knocked it out of the park. He was so just enthusiastic about what we created because it captured all those resource management stuff all over the map. And the thing that I had dreamt about was this mech station up in the corner in the snow outdoors, 1900s-ish, you know, and they're laying on the snow fixing these old things.
That's cool.
So anyway, that was pretty cool. And then I sent him this spice to finish the story. And his grandma makes this pumpkin soup, I guess, and she used Happy Mouth in it. And he goes, it was so good. Grandma said she's never making the pumpkin, their traditional soup without Happy Mouth again. So that was neat to get to meet him and have that relationship and his graciousness to let us do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, I think we're gonna move a real quick on a couple stretch goals that we want to talk about. It doesn't look like we have a lot of questions. We've got a lot of people in the chat here. Probably want to hear a little more from Grant, so we want to give Grant a few more moments. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is these milestone goals. And at 150,000, which we're almost at, we're going to go through these real quick. But at $150,000 milestone, we're doing this big customer loyalty deal, the Game Hall game bag. I know you've probably heard about this. Normally it's $59. We have it on the add-on for $39, but because you, our backers, are here, we want to do something special. We're dropping it another $10. I'm not making anything on these guys. This is just to say thank you for your support. It's an awesome, fully padded bag. Really cool. Our game totes are equally just as cool. I love the game totes, actually. It's actually my preferred bag. I love the Game Hall bag, don't get me wrong. That has big straps, so it can be a backpack and all that, and it has some side pouches, which makes it definitely a premium bag. It's no slouch. But this Game Topper game tote, we've sold a lot of these. Jamie Keggy told me, he goes, this is my favorite bag. That's one I use for everything. It works great. It's an insulated bag, so you can keep your hot games hot and your cold games cold. Excuse me. But the nice thing about this thing, it folds flat also, so it's easy to put in your luggage and use that at the game shows. It's also great to carry all of your Game Topper accessories. Well, at 150, you're getting that free with every package. So that's included in addition now to where you get the extra game mat for only $50, and that saves you up to $69. But then we went a step further with this milestone where the 4-pack of the JJ Burton mat rack and 4 mats and 4 storage bags. And when you do the math compared to buying them with our double mat bundle, which is a crazy good deal that was unlocked, I mean, that saved you about $40. This saves you even more. This mat rack is normally $189. You can buy it on sale on the Kickstarter for $129. But when you do the math, you're getting the 4 mats at the discounted double mat price and getting the mat rack almost free. It's crazy. And Grant, you have one of these.
Yeah, I do. That's where I keep my racks. I never knew what to do with my mats before this, and then now it looks much nicer. It's much more organized. I also have that yellow game bag as well. And
the Game Hall.
Yeah, one of the fun things I'll tell you about that one is that I also have like a bigger like board game backpack. And so sometimes if I'm bringing a smaller suitcase, I'll bring my board game backpack. But the nice thing about the game hall bag is it can fit into a larger suitcase. So I've figured out this system where sometimes if I don't want to bring an extra backpack, I put games in that game hall bag, put it inside of my suitcase, and then check that suitcase. And then when I'm at a convention, I pull it out of the suitcase, and now I have those games in a game bag for it.
That's perfect.
So yeah, it works out pretty well like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Got a quick question here from Dark Frozen Sword saying, how sturdy or how much weight can the Mycroft hold with the legs?
Go ahead. You've got one.
It can hold a Berkey.
You know, if it can hold a Berkey, it's super sturdy.
Yeah, I don't think we actually have a weight limit, but it can hold more weight than you should probably put on it. So
one of the things that is nice of the Mycroft is 3 24-inch sections, and so you have 2 seams because of the center. When you put the 2 ends together, you have the 4 foot by 4 foot Moriarty, so you're essentially getting 2 tables in one. Okay, so if you put one of the center supports in, you only need 4 legs. You have these heavy duty steel corner brackets with these hammer bolts. These hammer bolts lock into the aluminum rail. This is T6 military grade aluminum. So it's the hardest temper I can buy that isn't the aircraft quality. It's very high quality, very sturdy aluminum. Well, we do that because we want it to not be able to bend. We want to make sure it can ensure high quality tolerances. So it's manufacturable and every piece is alike, all of that. But it also speaks to strength. So those brackets, you're not going to break them at all. The legs are steel legs. They have a leg leveler on them. When you put the leaf in and you have the 4 foot by 6 foot, you get an extra set of corner brackets and an extra set of legs. So you've got a third support on the center of your topper. We're sitting at a Mycroft, the new designer art series Mycroft right now. Okay. And it's very stable with it. Now, any table, even we have a huge trestle table in our dining room, and it's a very solid table. But when we put the topper on it, even when we're just eating at it, there's some movement. I mean, most tables have some kind of movement, unless you've got some crazy big farmer table or something like that. I mean, they're generally a little bit of movement. Our tables are very solid, and you never have to worry about them breaking. One of my stress tests is that I jump on top of the table. And I remember the first time we had the leg kit installed with the center supports, and I said, well, I'm jumping up on this. And Josiah goes, are you sure? I said, well, if it can't handle it, I can't sell it. So we're going to make sure it works. And we did it, and it's been great. And there's tons of them out in the wild. Grant, you have a smaller version that doesn't have the center support, but how do you feel about the legs?
Yeah, it's been very sturdy for me. I've also gotten on top of my table as well. I feel like, honestly, like with the legs, every once in a while, I reach down and like give it another little twist, because sometimes it gets like the legs will start loosening when you're moving it around a bunch. So that the one thing I do is every once in a while, just reach down, make sure the legs are tight, and then it's fine.
Yeah, and that's one thing. You can tighten these legs really well so that they don't do that. They also have a leveler, and so everybody's floor is as level as you might think your floor is. Most floors are never level. And so having that after you've got the table set up and everything is properly installed where the rails are tight together. We have a really nice video that shows exactly how to do it. But leveling those feet also helps with minimizing any sway or any of that type of thing. So I wouldn't say that you don't have any movement, but you don't have any movement that's really disturbing anything or anything that is abnormal, and far better than a plastic folding table.
For sure.
So that was... He said, that's good to know. Thank you very much. Okay, at 150, we're going to run back and whip through these real quick. try to finish up here with Grant with a few thoughts. At 155, you're going to get the dining cover bag. And then at 160,000, we've got 3 mats that we're unlocking all at once. The water mat by Jay Selensky, super awesome. The Old West that we were just talking about, and that horror mat that we were just talking about. If you click on these videos, Josiah and I spent a lot of time filming. If you click on those pictures, games actually set up that are thematic. So you can see the orientation of the game on the mat on a Watson topper. Our Watson's the #1 selling topper, but the Holmes is very close, and the Mycroft is not very far behind it either in sales. Those 3 are by far the top sellers. And then at 165, we're doing our small play mats, which are really cool, $20 in black, crimson, red. And then we're also doing a 30-inch by 72. So if you go to a church meeting or a banquet hall or a game store or whatever, a lot of times they've just got those 30-inch by 6-foot lifetime tables. Hey, this is perfect. And it comes with the storage bag for $79 at that stretch goal. And then milestone 175. All right, this is huge. And I'm not exaggerating. Look at this. It's huge. It is the Game Topper medallion. This is one big chunky hunk of metal, baby. Hunk of burning love here. This is one big coin. These here are made by Goliath coins. They've got all kinds of super cool themes, but the texture on this is amazing. I love coins, but this one is much bigger than a challenge coin. You can probably use it. Our camera is a little far away, so I can't show it great. You can see the stretch goal. It has a D20 on the back, and it's really cool. He sells these for $25 at the shows, $22.95, I think. And we're doing the same thing. So you can buy one of these, but the customer loyalty goal is this. If you've ever purchased a product from Game Toppers through our web store at Shopify, shop.gametoppersllc.com, or through any of our Kickstarters with Backer Kit, we have a record of your email. And with any order that you place, even if you bought something for $10, we're going to give you this free. You don't have to pay a nickel for it. Okay? You don't have to pay shipping for it. You don't have to do anything. This is a customer loyalty goal. I bought 1,500 of these things, and I'm telling you, they're not cheap.
1,500. Wow.
And but I was trying to do something that was really cool. Okay,
Yeah,
and I really wanted to bless our backers, because I talk about it a lot, but we wouldn't be here without you, and you're not a number to us. We don't want you to ever feel that way. You're going to get, when you talk to us and have questions and you have concerns, you're going to get a real person. You're going to get me, you're going to get Josiah, and we're going to take care of whatever needs you have. And we're doing big things. I mean, we're in 18 countries in Europe and Australia, Singapore. I mean, we're all over the world, and we do a lot of things, but we want to treat each person like they matter. That's really what's behind this thing. So I hope you guys dig it. It's pretty cool. The other thing is, we were listening to a lot of people wanting us to bring back our terrain white mat. We talked about it earlier. Here you can see the modification that we've added some blue hints to it so that it's more of a snow. With games like Frostgrave and Frosthaven and games like End of Winter and so forth, look fantastic on this and anything else, because it's very neutral. And we feel that there'll be enough demand that we'll be able to pull this off. It's always a big decision for us to purchase inventory at the minimum quantity levels and to stock it in our warehouse if it isn't a fast moving item. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to bring these on. And we decided that we're going to do it in the Watson, the Holmes, and the Mycroft. We hope that demand for that. And that's all based on a lot of your feedback. The next thing at 175 is the Game Topper accessory bank. And this here is perfect for all of your custom bits. It comes with the turntable. That's new. A lot of you own this thing. Do you have one of these, Grant?
No, but that looks cool.
This here, we've got all of our Stonemeyer bits in here and sets of cards. It does handle sleeve cards, tons of banks. But then underneath it here, it has a turntable. So this here can set on the corner of your table, and then it just spins awesome like that. It also kind of stiffens it up in a way that you can pass it around for the having it as a bank. You could have one of these on both ends of the table, even for all of your accessories for resource management, all those type of things. It's super cool. A lot of our backers got the accessory bank in their packages on the last Kickstarter, but we didn't have the turntable. So for those of you that want the turntable, we made a separate stretch goal that's already unlocked that you can pick up that table for only $10. So it's worth more than that, but I figured, well, you've already got this. We might as well do that. But at 175 grand, you're going to get the turntable and the bank included in the package. So now 3 of those big things are unlocked, or 4 of those things in all the packages are all unlocked. And then at 180,000, we've got a Virtuoso package. If, for instance, you're just buying a topper and you don't want one of the big packages, or maybe you already have a topper, but you want the new collapsible cup holders, there's a deal that saves you about 60 ducks. 60 ducks. Yes, 60 ducks.
Quack, quack, quack.
on that Virtuoso package. And then the dice towers. Do you have some of the dice towers?
I do,
Grant?
yeah.
Those are fun. They give you a bit holder. They're the double dice tower bundles for $70, so it saves you about $48 getting 2 of them. A lot of people want one on each end of the table. Some people have 4 of them, so every player has their own.
Oh
wow. The BOGO, that buy one get one free deal, that's because in the packages we unlocked where you get the legs and those dice accessory trays that the dice tower fits into, people might want the dice tower and the corral. So what we're doing is we're dropping the price of that down to $40 to get a pair of them to mate with your package. Does that make sense?
Nice.
And then at $195, acrylic covers for all your cup holders with them dry erase markers so they can be score pads. Now, this is what I wanted to get to in this show, and then we're going to quit talking about stretch goals. But at $200,000, okay, we really have pulled out the stops. You're going to be able to get the Lord Berkton mat rack. This is the big one. 6 holes, 2 of the steel bars that allow you to have your smaller mats on. This is a $299 retail value. I think we have it on the Kickstarter sale price, the lowest price we've ever offered it at $199. Okay. But here is people, a lot of our backers said, hey, I want all 12 of those mats. We want a 12 pack. Well, I said, well, I don't know about that. Let's do a 6-pack in moderation. So 6-pack. We've got 6 mats with 6 storage bags. And again, if you do the math from the double mat bundle, not our retail prices, not our sale prices on individual mats, but that double mat bundle, which was a big savings, right? If you do the math, you get 4 of those. You're getting better than that price with 6 of them. I think about $80. And that mat rack, basically, when you figure it all out, you're getting the mat rack for about $50. It's just like $150 savings. So if you want to stock up on mats, this is a great opportunity. I really got aggressive with those prices, and the 3-foot by 5-foot mats are included.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Now this is the big one. I got to tell you, I've been thinking long and hard about this one. One of the new items on our Kickstarter is the Mycroft dining cover. These are by far the most expensive cover we have. Because of the length, because of the extra engineering and the density of material that we needed to use so that it would not bow. We prototyped some and we weren't happy. And I went back and said, it's got to be better. again, I'm not going to skimp just to provide a cheap solution. I want to make sure it's going to be heirloom for you. When we finally got to the place where this was the deal, I was super happy with these. We've got a new tongue and groove type of design with it. They're very durable. They've got a rubberized material around so they don't slip on your topper. The finish is gorgeous powder coat. What we're doing on that, there's a pledge level for the Mycroft because we have limited amount of these, and that was the only way we could limit it, okay? But what we're doing at $479, you get this dining cover. When we unlock here shortly, you're going to get the bag with that dining cover too. That's a $70 value. But we're going to give you a Mycroft mat and storage bag absolutely free.
Nice.
It's crazy, I know. Right now, we have 308 of them being shipped to us right now. So this is going to be an offer that's going to be good during this Kickstarter. So you're going to want to jump in on that during the Kickstarter. You can pledge for this as an add-on when you get your pledge survey, correct?
Yep.
But if you've already pledged for a package, like say the Reichenbach Falls package, and then you want this dining cover, no problem. You'll be able to add the dining cover as an add-on, and we're also going to give you a mat of your choice. So that's a huge benefit to you. It's a $120 value for that sale price. We sell those for $169 normally, those mats, and they're on sale on the Kickstarter for $119. So it's a crazy cool deal, but we just thought, let's do something wild. Let's do something to really stimulate this campaign. Let's blow through all these stretch goals. We've got a ton of other things that I've been planning that I want to show you too, but we need to get some movement. So we just thought, let's go for it.
That's great.
So we got a couple of questions here. Zigma asked, did anything change hardware-wise on the table in 4.0? No.
No, we really haven't changed anything since 2018 as far as the rail design or anything. And the only thing that we changed was we had to make a different mold that incorporated the screw channel so that we could do the leg kit from when we first started in 2017. So since then, we tried and spent a lot of money trying to make the old mold design work. We couldn't come up with the right solution that was solid and was portable and affordable, all of that. So we had to make that choice, and it cost us a lot of money to do that. But we also really take into mind backward compatibility. I can't always guarantee that that'll always be. Innovation requires you to change sometimes, but we always have that in mind. So we're always trying to make all of the things we're building. So if you've got a Generation 1 topper and you want the new collapsible cups, they work. If you want the new accessories, the new dice towers, any of that stuff, it all same. The mat sizes, they're all the same. So you don't have to worry about any of that.
DJ says, welcome back. Great tables. Have you decided on the white mats? I think this question came in right before we actually went over the stretch goal. As you had seen there, we do have that unlocking as a stretch goal soon.
Yep, in 3 sizes.
And then Kevin says, can we get a stretch goal to get a free mat with the Watson dining cover?
And we talked about that ad nauseum as well. You'll notice that the difference in price on the Mycroft dining cover is $479. The price of the Watson is $349. We dropped the price of the Watson dining cover over $50 on this campaign from our last campaign. And I did that again as a Kickstarter loyalty type of pricing. I should have kept it at the regular pricing. Had the Mycroft was a new item, so we were trying to make that a feature, and this stretch goal was part of all that marketing of that idea. Looking backwards, I think I could have maybe adjusted that some, but at the prices that we've offered our Watson and Holmes dining covers, we're just not quite able to eat a whole mat in that deal. We might think about doing something about a discount in the future, but we are including the mat storage bag. So you're already getting a $50 cheaper savings on those covers as well.
Awesome.
There we go.
Sweet.
Zigma says, awesome. I love my Watson XL from 2.0. Cool,
Good.
cool. Well, that's a lot of information. Sorry to talk so long, but we were super excited to announce these milestones. So help us blow through these milestones. That would share our campaign, tell people your experiences. If you're already a Game Topper backer, we would very much covet that, and that would really help us out to get the word out, so to speak. So with that, to try to wrap up the show, we'll still take your questions. Grant, what do you have coming up, and what are you looking to do in the hobby?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm at conventions all the time. People bring me into conventions to do, I'm also sick right now. So, I'm
right with you. We're the Congestion Brothers. We can do a show.
But I'll be at BGG Con. I'll be at PAX Unplugged. I'll be at Tantrum Con. I'll be at the Level Up Retreat. I'll be at Dice Tower East. I'm a special guest at all of these different things, doing my board game comedy show, and then playing games with folks. And then people can always find me on, on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. Grant's Game Rex. I'm just making fun videos.
I would highly recommend you check out Grant's stuff. He's super entertaining, but he's very informative also. I mean, he is a gamer and he does his homework. So when you watch his content, I think you'll see that he has substantive content and information, not just humor.
That was always my idea, was like real information in a silly way. That's what I do.
Well, it's always entertaining watching you, and I've really appreciated getting to know you, Grant, and you've been very kind to Game Toppers. And I know you did an event for us at Origins where we did a giveaway, and people came in and played a little game, and we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Oh, I had a good time with that too. So you guys do.
Roy Kennedy.
Yeah, you guys do good stuff, so it makes it easy to support you.
Oh, absolutely. So we got Roy Kennedy. He says, oh, snap, look at all the awesome peeps.
Yeah.
Roy Kennedy, of course, a designer excellent with the game Last Light. Amazing production. We did a filming, actually, of Last Light with our new Starfield map. And then, of course, we had to play it a couple times. So I've got my copy coming anytime. I got a demo copy from Lance Meister, the Undead Viking, so I could film it on our Starfield map, and I thought that'd be pretty cool for both of us.
Yeah, I need to get a copy too. I had a chance to play it with Roy at the World Series of Board Gaming a couple of times, and I'm itching to play it more.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's just a lot of variability and a lot of I don't think any game is really the same. And then the different player counts, and there's so many different factions and different things that you can do with that. And just the way that thing rotates too, I find really intriguing on how to get to the center, and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
And it kind of reminds me of that old commercial, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll?
It's because you got all those planets there that you just want to pop in your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, if we have any other questions, we'd love to take them. Kevin Kelly has another question.
Yeah, he says, another stretch goal idea. If we order 10 to 12 mats with your 2 rack styles, getting another free mat.
Oh, boy. It's at some point, we're not in business. We become a charity, and we won't be able to keep bringing these great things. I love your idea, though, and perhaps we'll be able to do something. The Watson dining cover particularly is priced super low, and the homes, so it'd be difficult to do a lot more on those, honestly, but we have really pulled out all the stops on this campaign to give away so many things that we've not. You know what a lot of people don't understand, from a manufacturing standpoint, the last 3 years have been horrible for us. They've been horrible for game companies. They've been horrible for manufacturing in general. Our costs have gone up well over 30%. I had some items that have gone up 3 times. Our walnut, for instance, tripled in price. Quite a deal. It cost us close to $37,000 to purchase that walnut, and we never charged any of our backers a nickel for that. We had to fix that. There was nothing we did wrong, but that's what happened to the economy during the pandemic. And we still are experiencing higher prices than pre-pandemic. And on this campaign, if you look at our past campaigns, we kept the prices at or below. In fact, most everything is below, especially with all the extra stretch goals. So I'm doing my best to make our product affordable, but we're not making an inexpensive product. We are making a premium heirloom lifetime type of product. And so they're made in the United States, so there's a premium for that. There's cheaper ways of doing things. But we've made that commitment. I do import some things from Asia, of course, our mats and storage bags and different things, but the majority of our topper product is actually made right here. And that's just a commitment to what we're trying to do from a company standpoint, to keep providing you high quality components. But we're doing our best to keep the prices down. It's been a challenge.
Yeah.
Roy says, didn't mean to hijack your stream. Thanks, guys. And stoked to see you at Dice Tower East, Grant.
Yeah, me too. It'll be my first one, so I'm excited.
Kevin says, honestly, be ordering at least 10 mats. I need to bump my pledge level.
I love you, man.
Thank you very much. And Brad says, greetings from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Woo-hoo!
Still loving my Watson walnut. I'm always happy to support a great company with great products. It was awesome to meet you, Berkey, at Origins this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brad. Yep, I grew up in North Dakota. Grew up in Minot. My dad lives south of Bismarck. So I know a lot about south of Dickinson, excuse me. So I know a lot about the state. So it's nice to hear from a North Dakotan.
Awesome.
All righty. Well, I think we're going to kind of close this up. I think we've gone plenty long. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Thanks again for the support, the enthusiasm, the feedback. Honestly, we want to keep doing awesome, cool things. So if you can help us share out the campaign, I don't mind asking for help. And without your help, it's hard to do this. And I think word of mouth is actually some of the best advertising. So we'd love for you to help us with that. And likewise, stay tuned for the updates where you'll see all the new goals, because we've got a lot more coming. We just need to hit through a couple more of these milestones, and then we'll be able to unlock a few more things. And thank you, Grant, for coming on the show. And Grant, where can people find you?
Just Grant's Game Rex, all the different places. I'm most active on TikTok and Instagram, but I also do stuff on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your friendship, Grant. Thanks so much for being a supporter of Game Toppers, and I look forward to seeing you here upcoming at BGG Con and at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you all.
And we'll see you next time.